Welcome back! This is Chef India and this is Sauce Bites and Smoke. Today we're going to stick to making a staple item, something that you should be able to make every day, anytime, on the fly. And you may not know what I'm talking about because like, what is that? What could that be? And we're just simply talking about a vinaigrette, people. We're going to make a classic Italian vinaigrette, something that you can make simple. If you have vinegar, if you have olive oil, you have a couple spices, some garlic, you can make a vinaigrette at any given point in time. You don't have to run to the grocery store like some of these other products that you think that you might want to go pick up and make a vinaigrette. But before we do that, let me shout out the t-shirt sponsor for today. Today I am wearing Social Theory. Thank you, Diana, for sending me the shirt. Social Theory, you can follow them on Instagram @_Social Theory. In order to make a quick vinaigrette, you have to consider two main things. Oil and vinegar, okay? And we're gonna talk about the importance of how oil and vinegar don't necessarily like to mesh well together, so you need to learn how to emulsify. You can do it in a bowl, you can do it in a blender, we'll talk about in a second, but oil and vinegar is the way that you start. Then there are other ingredients that we have here that we're going to use to make this classic vinaigrette. So we have white wine vinegar, we have extra virgin smooth olive oil. We've got some dried herbs here. This is dried basil, dried oregano, dried parsley. We've got some fresh garlic that we're gonna put into this vinaigrette as well. Then moving on to the spices, we have a salt and pepper blend. We actually showed you guys how to make this salt and pepper blend in another episode, episode 4, Sauce Bites and Smoke. So go check that out, learn how to make that, and then always have it available to you when you're in your kitchen cooking and seasoning your food. Then we have some crushed red pepper flakes, and then some brown sugar for sweetening. You could use white sugar, but brown sugar is better. And then to kind of give it a more savory twist, you're gonna find in most vinaigrettes, and what we're gonna put in ours is some shaved Parmesan cheese. Salads come in all different styles, versions. We're gonna make a quick tossed salad again. Staple items. I wanna show you how to just build the foundation of a salad, and then you can add things that you want. You can add proteins to this. You can add different types of vegetables to this, but we're just gonna make a quick tossed salad. So here we have some artisanal greens. These are lettuce greens. They come in different colors. I love color, so you can find something like this at your regular grocery store or market. We're gonna chop these up and mix these together, all right? Also, what I like to do with carrots, I like carrots in salad to give it a little crunch, but I like to shave these and make like carrot ribbons. So we're gonna do that for this salad today. We're also going to chop up very thinly some purple onion and some radishes here. It's a bunch of radish. We're gonna slice these really thin as well. And then to top off our salad, we've got some really cool, yummy baby heirloom tomatoes that we're gonna add just for color. And these are really sweet, so that should make our tossed salad taste really, really good. So now that we've got our ingredients down, just two things I wanna point out that we're gonna do in this process. We usually plate at the end, but I also wanna point out that when you're making a salad, you're usually making a lot of it. So you wanna make sure that you have a really good salad bowl at home. This is something that you would entertain with if you're having a party and you're making a salad for guests. This is the type of bowl that you would use. And then these are just like salad tossers, so that you can kind of get in there with those ingredients. People can get it out easily, and you can kind of toss your salad if you need to. So that's why we have those out here today. Just make sure that you have those utensils available. And then we talked about our blender on episode 1, kitchen tools, essentials, Vitamix. I love Vitamix. It is a great company. It's a great brand. It's a great blender. Definitely, if you can afford to get a Vitamix, have one, but any standard blender should work for this. So we're gonna use our blender to blend our vinaigrette. I talked a little bit, very briefly about emulsification. So oil and vinegar, they don't really love each other. So when you're making a vinaigrette, you wanna make sure that you have a good emulsification. And what that means is that they kind of balance each other out and blend each other out. If you have too much oil or too much vinegar, it kind of breaks, and you'll hear that in this industry that your sauce will break, and you don't want that to happen. You want to make sure that they're blended really well together. So you want to kind of have equal parts of that along with your other ingredients, but the blender is going to help all of that blend up really, really well and bring our vinaigrette together. Also, in episode 1, we talked about having containers for storage, right? So this is a 32-ounce container. I don't think we're gonna fill this. This recipe is gonna make about half of that. So about 16 ounces, but this is something that we have in our kitchen, and you hopefully have in your kitchen, that when you make sauces, you have something to store them in. It doesn't have to be this large, but make sure that you have something that you can write on with your Sharpie. We discussed that as well. It's very important that you write the date for how long sauces will last, and we'll talk about how long this sauce will last. So just make sure you have a container to store your sauces, okay? Start with our vinaigrette. We're going to basically build everything in the blender. We're going to take all these ingredients, add them one step at a time, but we're gonna start with our virgin olive oil. So we need about 5 tablespoons of the olive oil. That will give you a good amount to start with, and again, you want equal parts of your white wine vinegar. So we're gonna add the olive oil, then we're gonna add the white wine vinegar, and we're gonna do about 5 tablespoons of both of those, right? Then we're going to chop up some garlic. We're going to do 5 cloves of garlic. It doesn't have to be minced up fine. We're gonna do a rough chop on this garlic because the blender is basically gonna break it down and do the work on that. From there, we're going to add 3 different types of dried herbs. We're gonna do dried basil, oregano, and parsley. You don't really need to measure this per se. You just want enough herbs in there to kind of mix well with the other ingredients. So you're gonna do about 3 pinches of your dried herbs, add that to the blender, so that will be in your vinaigrette as well. To add a little spice, a little extra flavor to our vinaigrette, we're going to add a couple pinches of red pepper flakes. Salt and pepper to taste. Again, not true to measure. You want your vinaigrette really salty and peppery, you can add more or less, so we're just gonna do a couple pinches of your salt and pepper as well. Along with the seasoning, we want a touch of sweetness with this. So you're gonna get some heat, spiciness from the garlic, the salt and pepper, the crushed red pepper flakes, but to balance that out, we're gonna add some brown sugar to our blender as well, and that will be included in our vinaigrette. We're gonna add just a little bit of savoriness, and we're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of grated Parmesan. Once you have all your ingredients in the blender, you're ready to go, you're gonna start your blender out on low and then kind of increase the speed so you make sure that you get that oil, that vinegar, and all those ingredients emulsifying. It's gonna go from seeing everything in the oil to kind of getting really creamy because you're breaking down that garlic. There's some Parmesan in there, but it should be really smooth when you're finished. So just kind of blend it till you feel like it's done. And then you can always just take a spoon, check your consistency, make sure everything is fully incorporated. And if it's not, you can blend it a little bit longer. You can also kind of manage if you feel like you need a little bit of oil or more vinegar, you can add more. But I think based off the recipe that I'm giving you, this should be a really well-balanced vinaigrette. We're gonna talk about preserving your sauces. We haven't really gotten to this yet, but once your sauce is done, you basically want to take a container and you want to store it. This is something that you can keep in your refrigerator for 2 to 3 weeks. Whenever you want to make a tasty salad, you can pull that vinaigrette out and dress it, and you should be good to go. So once you have everything tossed and everything incorporated, you just want to take a good amount and we're going to put it on a plate. And once we have it on a plate, we are going to basically just add some extra love with more vinaigrette. Also going to add salt and pepper to taste. And then we're going to finish it with just a little bit more Parmesan to make those flavors pop on the plate. All right, guys, so thank you so much. I appreciate your time as always. This is Chef India, Sauce, Spice, and Smoke. If you want to be in tune with us and follow us on this sauce journey, be sure to like this video, subscribe, click that notification bell, because as we continue to drop these videos, you'll be the first to know. So that's it, Chef India. We made a bomb-ass salad, and we're out of here, guys. See you next week.